the flow of God's own state. Good afternoon, my name is Mercy Orji. Now the headlines. President Buhari urges Muslims to pray for peace in Nigeria. Nigerian army bans motorcycles in forest areas of 7 states. Anglican Church expels 2 priests for sodomy in Abia State. And on the foreign scene, U.S. sends aircraft carrier and bomber task force to warn Iran. Now the news in details. President Muhammadu Buhari is calling on Muslims to pray for the peace, progress and prosperity of Nigeria. The president, in a statement by his senior special assistant on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, said Islam is a religion of peace that upholds the values of tolerance and mutual coexistence without a place for hatred and violence. The president also called for religious harmony in the country, stressing the need for Muslims to use the fasting period to build a relationship of friendship with fellow citizens of other faiths. The presidency is insisting that the APC-led federal government has the capacity to resolve security challenges in the country. Speaking in an interview, Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, revealed that the federal government has inaugurated joint forces to tackle the rising wave of banditry and kidnapping.
This government has capacity to resolve issues. The issues are multifarious, the issues are complex, the issues are multi-pronged. And as you solve one, another one rears its head and all that. So there are challenges, no doubt about that. There are diverse security challenges: terrorism, insurgency, banditry, farmers' herdsmen clashes, kidnapping, armed robbery. There are multifarious security challenges. But then the question is, does the government have capacity to solve this? I'll say yes.
However, PDP Presidential Campaign Council's spokesperson Kazim Afebua disagreed with the presidency and insisted that the federal government has not shown political will to handle the situation.
While the country was burning, when souls were being lost, persons were being killed in Zamfara, in Katsina, the home state of the president, in Daura, kidnappings were being carried out, the president went on a private visit. So the president has no capacity to manage us because he's busy managing himself.
Meanwhile, a security expert, retired Major General Obi Umahi, is blaming rising insecurity in Nigeria on the misconception of mixing political issues with security matters. Obi, during an interview, highlighted that partisan security officers escalate the problem on ground and advised that security be separated from politics to enhance chances of tackling insecurity headlong.
In Nigeria, we mix security with politics. And anywhere in the world you mix security with politics, it creates insecurity in itself, principally because the security agencies that are supposed to be friends to all will acquire enemies to themselves if they are involved one way or the other in taking sides politically.
Similarly, former Director General, Department of Security Services, Mike Ejiofor, wants the federal government to consider declaring state of emergency in the security subsector. Speaking in an interview, Ejiofor reckoned that most security outfits are either under-equipped to meet the realities of emerging security challenges or poorly managed in terms of motivation and other needs.
We must, as a matter of urgency, develop that strategy where technology will be deployed. Drones can be deployed, armed drones. I think we should try as much as possible to see that this issue is solved. If you look at the police is handicapped, the police is challenged in terms of manpower, in terms of equipment, and we cannot continue to overflog this issue.
Still talking security, the Nigerian army has banned the use of motorcycles within the hinterlands and forests of Kano, Katsina, Zamfara, Sokoto, Kaduna, Kebbi and Niger states. The army said the ban was needful to tackle banditry and killings in the northwest region, adding that anyone caught using motorcycles within the named areas would be taken for a bandit. Acting Director, Army Public Relations, Colonel Sager Musa, appealed with the general public, particularly in the northwest and some parts of the north central in Nigeria, where exercise Habin Kunama is ongoing, to bear with the army as concerted efforts were being made to combat the insecurity menace ongoing within the area. National Council of Traditional Rulers is of the opinion that the overall development and unity of Nigeria can be attained in an atmosphere of peace and respect for the uniqueness of every region of the country. The Royal Fathers made the position known at the end of their first meeting after the general elections in Owerri, the Imo State capital. Some of the traditional rulers, including the Obi of Onisha, Igwe Alfred Achebe, Sultan of Sokoto, Saad Abubakar III, and Oni of Ife, Oba Ade Enito Ogunwusi, promised to move to their geopolitical zones to continue to preach peace and unity of the country.
Talking about peace is only the beginning of a journey. We have to work for peace. Whatever we say today, we must carry messages back to our respective communities.
Let's try and do what is right always, and let's also be good ambassadors of our institution.
We shouldn't just talk the talk. We should walk that talk. And our role as traditional rulers is very pivotal.
Prisoners Rehabilitation and Welfare Action Power is calling on government to review its criminal laws to stop jailing people for petty offences. The group made the call in Enugu following a baseline survey it conducted in 4 pilot states, including Abia, Lagos, Enugu, Kano and FCT, where they highlighted cost implications of such actions on government, community and the individual. Presenting the baseline report on criminalization and classification of petty offences found in Enugu State, Executive Director of Prawa, Uju Agomo, lamented that most of the people being arrested for petty offences were people who have no shelter and are unemployed.
Once the judiciary mechanism is also put in place to divert those who are minor offenders and find a better way of dealing with them. So he's interested in, let's look at non-custodial measures. So I can give a practice directive to my magistrate. I can do sensitization with you so that my magistrate will know that these are not correct or this is the way to do. So I think the most important aspect is the buy-in of everyone into it.
The Arochukwu Ohofia Diocese of the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion in Abia State has dismissed 2 priests for indulging in homosexuality. A letter signed by Bishop of the Diocese, Right Reverend Johnson Onoha, and circulated to all archbishops and bishops of the church says an investigation into the allegation confirmed that the 2 men were neck deep in the act. The memorandum, which was also copied to the Metropolitan and Primate of all Nigeria and Bishop of Abuja, the Most Reverend Nicholas Oko, warned any persons dealing with the expelled clerics to be mindful as such could dent the image of the church. The affected priests are Reverend Chukwuemeka Duru and Reverend Solomon Chukwuzubelu Okonkwo. Federal Executive Council has approved the award of 169.74 billion naira contracts for the construction and rehabilitation of 10 roads across the country. The approval, which was sequel to a memorandum presented to the Council by the Ministry of Works, covers the rehabilitation of the Umuahia Ikwano Ikotepene Road, Umuahia Umudike in Abia State, rehabilitation and dualization of the 74 kilometers Aba Ikot Ekmene Road in Abia and Akwa Ibom states, as well as rehabilitation of Calabar Oban Ekong Road in Cross River State, among others. The Umuahia Ikwano Ikot Ekmene Road was awarded in the sum of 13.2 billion naira with a completion date of 48 months, while the Aba Ikot Ekmene Road would cost 30.6 billion naira and to be completed in 24 months. Minister of Power, Housing and Works, Babatunde Fashola, stated that the projects would enhance the federal government's objective of improving transportation infrastructure and restoring the nation's road network. Abia State government has absolved itself of blame on the salary crisis rocking the state's parastatals and some pensioners. The State Commissioner for Finance, Obinna Oriako, clarified that the state government paid monthly subventions to parastatals and that those institutions were expected to generate revenue for their operations, including payment to salaries of their workers. The commissioners alleged that a recent review of the activities of some parastatals in the state revealed some flaws leading to the dissolution of their boards to pave way for more efficient management team that would reposition the institutions to deliver on their mandates seamlessly. Flow News at noon continues shortly with business, foreign and sports news. Stay tuned.
You are listening to News Now. The flow of God's own state. Detailed, balanced, straight to the point. News Now on Flow 94.9 FM.
Welcome back. Now moving over to the business news. Nigeria Electronic Fraud Forum has disclosed that a total of 63,895 bank customers lost 3.6 billion naira to cyber fraud in 2 years. The forum's chairman, Sam Okojere, who is also the Director of Payment System Management Department, Central Bank of Nigeria, disclosed this while presenting the 2018 annual report on emerging fraud threats in Lagos. Moving over to the foreign scene, United States says it has deployed an aircraft carrier to the Middle East to send a clear and an unmistakable message to Iran. U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton said they were acting in response to a number of troubling and escalatory indications and warnings. The deployment of the warship was based on claims of a possible attack on U.S. forces. Now for the sports updates, we have David Oku.
Thanks very much, Mercy Orji. Good afternoon all and welcome to Sports News Update at lunchtime. Former Chelsea midfielder John Obi Mikel says that he is looking to continue his career elsewhere after coming to an end of his stay with Championship side Middlesbrough. Mikel penned a short-term contract with the club in January and despite a number of impressive displays, failed to help the team secure a Championship playoff spot. The former Chelsea midfielder scored his maiden goal for the club in Sunday's 2-1 win against Rotherham United, but victory in the game was not enough to seal a playoff spot. That wraps it up on Sports News Update. I am David Oku. I hand you back to Mercy Orji.
Thanks for that, David. To end the news, a recap of our major stories. President Buhari is calling on Muslims to pray for the peace and progress and prosperity of Nigeria. The Nigerian army has banned the use of motorcycles within the hinterlands and forests of Kano, Katsina, Zamfara, Sokoto, Kaduna, Kebbi, and Niger states. The Arochukwu Ohofia Diocese of the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion in Abia State has dismissed 2 priests for indulging in homosexuality. And on the foreign scene, we told you that United States has deployed an aircraft carrier to the Middle East to send a clear and unmistakable message to Iran. Thanks for being with us. Remember that security is everyone's business. Provide useful information to